President Bola Tinubu pardons nationalist Herbert Macaulay, Major General Maman Vatsa posthumously, clemency to Farouk Lawan, and frees 82 inmates.
Professor Josh Ojo Amukwito's nomination as INEC chairman endorsed by the National Council of State.
A very serious-minded scholar, a man of high integrity, and a tested and trusted hand.
Senate says allegations of religious persecution in Nigeria an attempt to harm the economy and create divisions.
That the position they are taking is not in tandem with the reality of what is going on.
And on Good Morning Nigeria today, we shall examine community engagements and appraise medical outreach and empowerment program of the national chairman of APC, Professor Nentawe Wada.
Community engagement is a strategic process of involving people to identify and address issues that affect their well-being, fostering shared ownership of decision and solutions which include collaboration, empowerment, inclusivity, trust, and relationship.
Absolutely, and the community engagement activities build stronger connections between groups and individuals through events, communication, and collaborative programs to foster participation and, of course, trust.
You're right, Victor. In addition, effective community engagement requires a strategic approach focused on clear objectives, transparency, and empowering members to become active contributors.
Now, Ademola, it doesn't end there. It also involves actively involving a local population in decision-making, planning, and implementation to achieve common goals and foster sustainable change.
Above all, these projects use various strategies and platforms such as volunteer work, community gardening, medical outreach, skill acquisition, financial empowerment, advocating for issues, and attending town halls to building relationships.
And community engagement is also about striving towards improving the quality of life in a community through both political and non-political means. It is on this note that I welcome you to Good Morning Nigeria, the last for the week. I am Victor Azo.
Yeah, thank God it's Friday. I am Ademola Adeoye. Thank you for joining us this morning. We are live from Abuja on the network service of the NTA. Shortly, we'll join Musa Abubakar for highlights of the morning news, and much later, the newspaper review with Chukudi Okoli Ugbaja. Let's now join Musa Abubakar for the morning news. Good morning, Musa.
Good morning to the both of you. Here's the news. President Bola Tinubu has granted pardon to Herbert Macaulay, Major General Mamman Jia Vasa, and Farouk Lawan, and granted clemency to 82 inmates. In a statement by Bayo Onanuga, Special Advisor to the President, Information and Strategy, says Major General Mamman Vatsa, sentenced to death over a treason charge in 1986, has received a posthumous pardon from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Vatsa, a poet, was among the 17 people who received presidential pardons following the endorsement of the National Council of State, which met in Abuja on Thursday. President Tinubu also granted a posthumous pardon to Herbert Macaulay, a Nigerian nationalist and co-founder, along with Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe of National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroons. Macaulay was the party's first president, which played a pivotal role in Nigeria's struggle for independence. However, in 1913, Macaulay was believed to have been unjustly convicted by the British colonialists and banned from public office. Macaulay died in 1946, but the stigma of being an ex-convict was not exorcised from his records until now. President Tinubu also pardoned 4 former convicts, including former House of Representatives member member Farouk Lawan, Mrs. Anastasia Daniel Wabia, Barrister Hussaini Umar, and Ayinla Sa'adur Alanamu. The National Council of State has endorsed the nomination of Professor Josh Ojo Amupitan as the new chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The council, at its meeting on Thursday, also approved the nomination of Aminu Yusuf from Niger State for the chairmanship of the National Population Commission, MPC. The police council's meeting was also held successfully.
Speaker after speaker spoke glowingly of this professor as a very serious-minded scholar, a man of high integrity, and a tested and trusted hand who has never participated in any partisan politics.
The Senate will next week decide on an appropriate line of action over allegations of religious persecution in Nigeria. It emphasizes that insecurity in the country is not religiously driven. The Senate views the alleged Christian persecution narrative being pushed against Nigeria as an attempt to strangulate the economy of the country and create disunity among citizens.
And I think as a parliament, we must take a position and we must join hands with the government to inform the US and the US Congress that the position they are taking is not in tandem with the reality of what is going on.
The federal government has given all federal tertiary institutions a 30-day deadline to reconcile and submit reports of unutilized balances within the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TED Fund, for joint verification. Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, issued the directive at a meeting with heads of federal tertiary institutions, bursars, and procurement directors.
To rebuild classes, build laboratories, engineering workshops, faculty offices, student auditoriums, buy instructional materials. 2 at tertiary institutions. Also, some of these funds might even be there that have lecturers need.
Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, is in Doha, the capital city of Qatar. She landed at the Doha Hamad International Airport on Thursday evening to begin a 4-day working visit to the country on the invitation of the chairperson of the Qatar Foundation, Her Highness Sheikha Moza bint Nasser Al Misan. The visit is part of a mission the First Lady is undertaking to advance the course of out-of-school children and reform the Almajiri education system in Nigeria. During her visit, she will engage with the Qatar Foundation chair as well as the Minister of Social Development, Butaina Al-Nuami, among other key stakeholders in Qatar. The First Lady is accompanied on the visit by the Minister of State for Education, Professor Suwaiba Ahmed, and the Executive Secretary of the National Commission for Almajiri and Out-of-School Children Education Commission, Dr. Muhammad Sani. And those are the news highlights. Good Morning Nigeria continues with Ademola and Victor after this time out.
The Renewed Hope Initiative RHI presents the RHI Green Nigeria Challenge. Go green today for a greener tomorrow. This national competition is in 3 categories. The household category is a tree planting competition amongst 11 frontline states in northern Nigeria. Each participating household in Adamawa, Borno, Bauchi, Gombe, Jigawa, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Sokoto, Yobe, and Zamfara states will plant a minimum of 1 tree to qualify, with a video evidence of before and after the tree planting exercise. 20 million naira would be awarded to the best household. Submission deadline is 20th December 2026. Community category will see local governments, local communities, schools, and NGOs reclaim and transform degraded or abandoned areas such as dump sites, landfills, parks, and their likes into green, vibrant gardens, parks, and eco-friendly spaces. 50 million naira would be awarded to the overall best community group. Deadline for submission is 15th July 2026. State category will have all states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, excluding Enugu State, have a chance to address the growing threats to environmental sustainability and cleanliness. States will be judged based on the number of trees planted on major roads and inner streets and how clean they are. 100 million naira will be awarded to the best performing state. Already, Enugu State has 100 million naira for being RHI's model green state due to its greenery and cleanliness. Video evidence must be submitted by participating states on or before 20th December 2026. All entries must be directed to RHI Office, State House, Abuja, or email rhi.greenchallenge@statehouse.gov.ng. RHI Green Nigeria Challenge. Go green today for a greener tomorrow.
For an exclusive 3x skin effect, try Nivea Men Deep powered by black carbon. For 48-hour deep moisture, a fresh skin feel, and a long-lasting masculine fragrance. Make an impact with Nivea Men Deep Impact Body Lotion. Try Nivea Men Deep Roll-On for 72-hour antibacterial sweat protection.
Milo 3-in-1 Milky and Creamy is truly milky and contains calcium. So, no need to add milk for that rich, creamy cup, which helps to nourish your kids.
Have you been aspiring to be a student of the prestigious Ahmadu Bello University Zaria to no avail? Worry no more, as you can gain entry through NTA Television College Jos, an affiliate of the renowned Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, where eligible candidates with a JAMB admissible scores of not less than 180 and 100 scores, and with 5 credits O-level in social sciences, including English and mathematics, can turn their passion in broadcasting to profession by applying for a BSc in mass communication and MBTE approved innovation diploma courses in film and television production, broadcast journalism, and television engineering, respectively. The college, as a training hub with a pedigree of professionalism in the media space, also offers specialized courses in other related fields. For more information, visit our website at www.ntatvc.edu.ng or contact 080-33-834-343 and 080-69-809-897. Announcer Management.
Thanks for staying with us. You're still on to Good Morning Nigeria on the network service of the NTA. It's now time for newspaper review.
All right, our newspaper reviewer, Chukwudi Baja, is you among us? Yes, he is. Red cap chief or brown cap?
Talk to the man who
Welcome.
gives you glasses. You need to change what you have on. Is that clear? Demola, how are you doing, my dear?
I'm doing great. Did you experience the shower of blessing this morning?
Oh, yes, I did. And it had a cooling effect on me.
Okay.
Be careful. These may be some of the last rains. You may not see the rain after 3 weeks.
The prophet has spoken.
No, it's seasonal. I don't have to be magical.
Okay. How are you today?
I'm okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Let's begin. And I have the Leadership Friday here to start with. And the major headline here reads, Ensure credible elections, new National Electoral Chief Amukwito urged. How law professor was chosen as independent National Electoral Commission's chair at Council of State meeting. An African Democratic Congress, Yaga Africa, Transition Monitoring Group, others react. And that's the major story on page 8. Above that story, which is just below the nameplate, after World Bank's warning of rising poverty in Nigeria, manufacturers, economists prefer solutions is on page 18. And President pardons Herbert Macaulay, Vatsa, Kensaru Lawan, others. You find details of that on page 7. To sports, 2026 World Cup qualifiers, Super Eagles will fight till the end. That's credited to skipper Troost Ekong, and that story is on page 29. And the picture story details the turnover, the electoral umpires, chief electoral umpires of the country. From time, I see 1987, 1980, 1976, by the way, 64, 66. All right, to date. And at the bottom of the front page of the leadership, Senate suspends 2026 budget consideration over accountability concerns. You got details on page 27. And tackle instability in North, WFP tells government on page 22. 12 arrested over a Rise TV anchor guard's murder. It's on page 27. And Tinubu Anyoku mourn as business icon Christopher Kolade dies at 92. You get details of that on page 23. And off to the Nigerian pilot we go. Sabotage is the major headline here in red. Reps probe $18 billion spent on non-functional refineries due to alleged sabotage and vandalism. The FG-owned refineries at Kaduna, Port Harcourt, Warri that have been moribund for years. Parliament expressed worry over persistent non-functionality of the refineries. It mandated its relevant committees to investigate funds spent on them between 2010 and 2024. That big story is on page 8. Above that, you have court adjourns Yahya Bello's money laundering trial until November 12, which is just below the nameplate. FCT police arrest 12 suspects linked to murder of Arise TV anchor on page 5. Aviation Ministry to commence personnel audit, skills gap analysis to boost efficiency on page 9. Police post tinted glass permit enforcement on page 7. Abbas seeks end to sexual harassment on campuses is on page 7. And finally, Nigeria loses $3.3 billion to oil theft. Sabotage, says Nati. And you get details of that on page 7. Ademola.
Okay, I have the Daily Times newspaper with me, and just above that nameplate, we have Council of State approves Tinubu's request to free 175 inmates. And below the nameplate, Senate anticipates delay in 2026 budget presentation raises concern. Details of that headline story is on page 9. Tinubu appoint Professor Amukwito as new INEC chairman. Details on page 2. reps move to probe NECO's budgets, IGR implementation. Then you have PDP not disturbed by alleged defection plans of Governor Diri to APC spokesperson. Details of that story can be found on page 2. FRSC to launch upgraded driver's license number plate system. Details of that story, it's on page 14. Then we have Daily Trust. Israel, Hamas sign Gaza ceasefire. FCT Council withdraws TV radio levy. How the new income tax will affect you. Details of that story can be found on page 6. And we still have the Amokwito and his records. Tinubu pardoned Vasta, Farouk Lawan and others. Christopher Koladi dies at 92. Reps probe $18 billion spent on refineries. APC disqualifies 2 Ekiti governorship aspirants dissolved Enugu ESCO. Chooks.
You mentioned one I should be interested in because we're involved. Who really should collect radio TV levy? Matter for another day. This great ego, this great administrator. I'm not starting on a morbid note. I'm starting on a sterling note. Christopher Kolade, may God receive him in his bosom. Man. The man stood tall, whichever way you looked at it. I trust Chukudi. I had a special place in my heart for the quality of his English. You know, professor of everything. Yeah. He was great.
He was.
May he rest in peace.
I remember my late mentor, Chief Bode Alalade, once told me that there was a time he went to read the news, and after the news, he just got a call from who? Christopher Kolade. He said, Bode, how do you pronounce that word? Pronounce it again. Yeah. He said, no, that's not the pronunciation. That's where the stress pattern is not there. I said, wow.
There was another person too. He had a way of lecturing them on the pronunciation. So after playing this classical music, this announcer, I won't mention his name, was confronted by Christopher Kolade. Next time you Beethoven him, I'm going to bee you out of these studios. He didn't pronounce Beethoven correctly. Look, those were the days. Now everything done jaga jaga, you know.
2 minutes. Okay.
Ensure credible elections. New National Electoral Chief Amokwito urged. That's a good one. He has not scaled the hurdle yet. Remember that the Senate has to screen him. But for the Council of State to have approved him is a step forward.
He has scaled half the hurdle.
Oh, the Senate has done?
He has scaled half the hurdle.
Oh, half of it. Yes. He would always put a comma in whatever I do. Okay. Now, the things that are important to Nigerians are, is he a man of integrity? How much can he withstand pressure or heat? Is he self-asserting when he thinks he's right and all that? We must keep on endeavoring to have more and more credible elections in the days ahead. But I'm sure that the government has done its due diligence. That's why this law professor of the University of Jos, was taken.
But before we let you go, just a moment, the other big story there is the pardon for, briefly, the pardon of Herbert Macaulay and the likes.
My journalist half-cynical mind, they are skeptical. Saw that some of them had died, were actually killed. And you say, oh, they pardoned him. The man was killed and all that. But the important thing is their name has been cleared from the book of criminality. So that's very important.
Lastly,
yes,
Eagles are playing today. Eagles are playing today.
Demola, I think newspaper review is over.
Is a must-win. Is a must-win match.
I wave the green, white, green any time I can. But when it comes to those,
a must-win.
Since you have declared the newspaper review over,
is a
who are we to say no?
We're playing Lesotho.
Thank you very much. Let's thank him.
We
for
wish
his
us
time.
luck.
And let's watch and support the Super Eagles. Yes. Have a great day, Chukwudi, and a great weekend too.
Thank you.
We'll see you again on Monday.
Thanks a lot.
Good Morning Nigeria returns after this break with a conversation proper Please don't go away.
From the Atlantic across the savannah to the Sahara, we rise, a land of the free, we know they tire. We dream great, our spirit is undying.
Resilient, rooted like palm tree, we sway in colors, we turn dark into light, we make solutions, we ignite passion, yeah. Diversity is unique, we have more than the solution.
We are Nigeria, strength in unity, we know they carry life. We are Nigeria, together live the dream of a land with great destiny. We are Nigeria.
I am the real Nigerian. Brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
Nivea Black and White Deodorant, now with 72-hour protection. But what does that mean? 3 cities in 3 days and no fear of sweat and odor. 120 dances with skin as smooth as the moves. Sweat, stain and odor protection. Nivea Black and White Deodorant. Skin is for embracing life. Nivea is for skin.
Welcome your host, Bisola Ayola.
Hi, everyone. Woo! All the way from Akwa Ibom State, it's the sensational family. Woo! And all the way from Benue State, it's the TWC family.
My name is Christiana. I'm a fashion designer.
My name is Christiana. I'm a fashion designer. You are into HR. You are into catering. You are into another thing. I sing. You sing as well. Oh my God. Grace, take it away.
All around the world, no one looks like you. You can put a smile on your face. You're beautiful. For the Spirit of the Lord lives and dwells in you.
Woo! Woo! Mention a common response if your situationship should ask you, what are we?
Pass. We're just friends. One item. We're like a sister to me.
Nothing.
Love us.
We are who we are. We are who we are. Survey says.
Thanks for staying with us. You're still watching Good Morning Nigeria on the network service of the NTA. Just before we bring in our guest for our conversation on community engagement, let's take this background report by Ibrahim Dan Hamidou.
Every thriving nation begins with a simple idea that people are not subjects of development, but partners in it. Community engagement transforms that idea into action, connecting government vision with grassroots reality. From rural cooperatives in Gombe to neighborhood associations in Lagos and peace-building forums in Plateau, Nigerians are proving that development grows stronger when citizens take ownership. Effective engagement means listening, collaborating, and empowering people to identify and solve the problems that shape their daily lives, from security and sanitation to health and youth empowerment. Across Nigeria, traditional institutions, civil society groups, faith-based organizations, and the National Orientation Agency are increasingly driving this new culture of participation. But experts say community participation must go beyond consultation. Citizens must co-own development plans, track projects, and sustain the impact long after the cameras leave. Across Africa, structured engagement has rebuilt trust between citizens and leaders. From Rwanda's Umuganda model to Ghana's local assemblies, Nigeria can lead this movement by institutionalizing dialogue at the ward and council levels, ensuring that policies reflect people's realities, not just reports on paper. True change begins when citizens stop asking, "What will government do for us?" and start saying, "What can we build together?" Because the strongest communities are not the richest, they are the most united. Today on Good Morning Nigeria, guests and experts in participatory governance, civic engagement, and local development will examine how Nigeria can deepen trust, strengthen inclusion, and make community voices the heartbeat of national progress.
All right. Thank you very much, Ibrahim Dan Habidu, for that background report. And right here in the studio with us to begin a conversation on community engagements, let me make welcome Moremi Ojudu, who represents the Southwest, covers the Southwest for Mr. President on community engagement. It's a pleasure to welcome you to Good Morning Nigeria.
Thank you so much. Good morning, and it's good to be back here again. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. We also have Chioma Nweze, is this senior special assistant on community engagement, Southeast. You are welcome, madam.
Thank you. It's good to be back again.
Good to have you again. And also we have Dr. Abiodun Esiet, senior special assistant on community engagement, North Central. Dr. Esiet, it's good to have you.
Thank you. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, North Central community.
All right, so let's kickstart our conversation this morning. I haven't listened to that background report where Amidu said you do not ask for what your country can do for you, just what you can do for your country. It's most important. So how do we begin to define effective community engagement, and why is it crucial for development initiatives, especially in Nigeria? Let's start with Moremi.
Thank you so much. I think community engagement is the biggest cross of any government. I think it's important that governments, all governments, be it at the local government, state government, and the federal government. The federal government is the biggest, has been able to warmly understand community engagement. Interestingly, the presidential community engagement works directly with the presidency. That shows you that we have a super working president who understands the nitty-gritty of community engagement. Our work is simply to ensure that we report and evaluate, mechanisms. So we have actually been able to ensure that we create a structure where we have a direct link with the communities. We are these foot soldiers, and we bring back report evaluations. So this report helps the MDAs, the ministries, departments, and agencies to be able to create better engagement, and for the communities to own their developments. So we don't just assume or create policies at the ministries, departments, and agencies. They work on our reports, and they also ensure that the community engagement aspect of it is well carried out. Okay. So I think that's the biggest
how you can define it for now.
Yes.
All right, let's get Madam Chioma.
Yeah, the community engagement is very, very important. We are only as strong as our communities. Okay. Let me give a life example. In Anambra State, we kept wondering, why is it that young boys engage in Yahoo and they want to get rich quick and everything? We found out that it's all this herbalists that come and deceive them and tell them that they're going to make them to get rich quick and a lot of things. It took a lot of talking to and a drastic action from the governor that started imprisoning herbalists and said, okay, if you have the power, okay, disappear from the prison, I won't arrest you again. For people to start seeing that this way they are going to is bad, not good, because like us from the Southeast, we are known for hard work. We are known for trading. We believe that, in my language, we say, that when you work hard with your hands, you get the result of what you work for. There is no crown without any turn. So we want our youth, we are re-engaging our youth to refocus their minds on skill acquisition, We don't believe that everybody is going to get a white-collar job. It's not possible. We're over 250 million Nigerians. So we are trying to say, let's go back to the drawing board, how it was before. Let's do something with our hands. Let's do something with our mind. Let's veer off to technology. In my region, I started up Skill Up Southeast. I'm training some people for tailoring. I'm training some people to do POP. Things that we can do with our hands, things that we can do to make sure that we put food on our table. We don't have to wait for government. It's what can we do to help government. So community engagement is about engaging the community, giving feedback to both the local and to the federal government. We also give feedback to the governors. Anambra, Imo, Ebonyi, even Abia State, and Enugu State have been able to empower their youth through the feedback from community engagement. They've been able to do a millionaires club to help the youth to go back. Okay, we want to trade. They will give you so and so amount of money. All these efforts that the government is putting in place is because of community engagement, because of the feedback we give to them. Even on our roads, we are able to tell the government that please intervene on this route. The federal government's budget has not covered this road, but our communities, we are the ones that are inhabiting our communities. We don't have federal people, we don't have state people, we don't have local government people. We are all the same in Nigeria. So we are trying to tell our state governors, intervene on these roads, that even if they are federal roads, so that everybody can get the dividend of democracy. When you intervene on roads in your area, one, you increase child mortality. People that go to hospital will be able to go. People will be able to bring out their agri-produce. People will be able to go to work seamlessly. Not when you keep some roads and they are so bad and you say they are federal roads, you're waiting for federal budgets. Meanwhile, the federal government is giving a lot of money to the states to make life easier for citizens. So we are very proud of our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because of the things he has put in place to make sure that everybody, people's burdens are being alleviated at all levels, at all strata of society. So we are calling on everybody to join hands with the Presidential Community Engagement Team to work. If you see it, you say it. You cannot have insecurity in your area and you don't tell people about it and you expect it to be solved. So we are trying to say, see it and say it. Tell us about it. Tell us about the insecurity. Tell us about the ditch. Tell us about the failing bridges or the roads that are being cut so that we can escalate it. That is our work as community engagers, to take the grassroots back to the presidency and to take the presidency back to the grassroots. Thank you.
All right. Chairman Wednesday, thank you very much for your opening remarks. Let me now get to Abiodun said. Now, the North Central Zone is a melting pot of cultures and a crossroad for many development issues. How does that complexity shape your engagement strategy?
Okay, thank you very much. Just to add one point from the earlier question that was asked, Nigeria celebrated democracy, 25 years of democratic practices last year or this year. And knowing fully well that Mr. President is a Democrat to the core, and that's the reason for creating the Community Engagement Office, because Mr. President feels governance should be at the should be at the center stage of governance, knowing fully well that democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Elections alone doesn't mean you are doing democratic rule. But after the 4 years election, what are the citizens, what are the opportunities given to the citizens to contribute to governance? And that's the reason for creating the Community Engagement Office, for us to continue the engagement from after the election till the next election, for citizens to be given platforms and opportunity to engage the government at different levels. I must say, I can say proudly that the community engagement officers that you have seen here are much closer to the community than some local council chairmen. I could say that with all sense of seriousness and fact, because we engage down to the grassroots level, communicate with people, and that goes back to your question. I just came back from Kogi. We set up 21 community peace structures in Kogi State to address the issue of social cohesion. You said that, North Central, we have diversity of language, culture, tradition, but this diversity is gradually turning to a disadvantage of us. But, since we came into office, we set up a presidential community peace structures where we are engaging the different North Central community stakeholders to embrace social cohesion. So we are telling our stakeholders that our diversity should be a blessing and not a curse. for the fact that we have like a greeting in different languages in North Central. Olo, Agwanku, Naili, Upandabe. We are so blessed. This should not be a disadvantage. This should be something that should be embraced. And anytime we see the government and different administrative leader will tell them that they should embrace inclusion. For the fact that you have a majority of a tribe in a state, that doesn't mean your government should be constituted by those tribes. Because lack of inclusion is what we've seen that has led to insecurity in some of the states. So in Kogi State, I just launched the community peace structure in 21 local governments constituted by traditional rulers, local traditional rulers, the association, community-based peace association at the local level, the religious leaders, the traditional leaders, and National Council for Women's Society, and Citizens Assembly. So my office created something we call the Citizens Assembly. We have over 700 volunteers across the North Central region that have dedicated their efforts and work to be part of our government, to document exactly what is going on in their community, just like what you have in the National Assembly. So each of those citizen assemblies in Kogi State now have been constituted as part of the community peace structure to continue deliberate dialogue. And we told them when we inaugurated them 2 days ago that their mandate is to maintain peace, continue intelligence. We train them on intelligence gathering by different experts from the military and also the security agency. We train them on how to communicate, emotional intelligence, so that they know how to engage different people. Anything insecurity happens in any community, it happens in the community. So you can't rule out the community and the community leaders out of any insecurity dialogue. And this takes us to what the Presidential Community Engagement is doing. We are launching, soon we'll be launching the National Stakeholders Engagement Framework to guide the federal government on how to engage. We want the people that are concerned. For instance, you are doing something in SMA or you want to change our cashless policy. You gather the people, the stakeholders that are affected, that are managing that aspect of that economy. Gather them together and tell them this is what the federal government wants to do. Get their input before changing any policy. So that's what our national framework is all about. We'll be guiding the federal government in saying, in anything you want to do, in any engagement you want to do, in any policy you want to do, let the people affected by it to be involved from the beginning stage, not a stage whereby you have done everything and you now gather themselves together and say we're doing town hall to tell you exactly what the federal government is doing. No, it's wrong. You know how our cashless policy fell out? Because we didn't engage the people, the key business people, the SME, the people that will really impact that policy involved at the early stage, and that's why that cashless policy fell out. So for Nigeria, the next couple of months, we'll be launching that framework to guide us. And with the structure each of us has created in our community, we've created a structure, a formidable structure for citizens to engage the federal government directly and for us to also engage them, because if Mr. President is interested in feeling the impulses of the people, we submit report on a monthly basis to Mr. President, and we have opportunity to tell him that, Mr. President and members of Federal Executive Council, concerning infrastructure, this is what we are getting from our community. Concerning road, this is what we are getting. Concerning insecurity, these are the feedbacks that we are getting from our community. And the Federal Executive Council uses that to shape their policy and law and deliver better services. We are not service provider. We are making sure that their service are efficient and effective. So we are not there to go and be giving so much water. Anything you see that we are doing is just an advantage. Our own is to inspect, making sure that federal government interventions are done as per what they do. And I must really appreciate the Minister for Works. Anytime he's going to any of our region, he calls the community engagement. Come and inspect us, come and see what you are doing, so that you can tell the members of your community that some of the reports you sent to the Federal Executive Council has been handled. For instance, the Shadam Bridge in Plateau State, when I visited the bridge, it was collapsed. And that report was shared with the Minister of Works. And the Minister of Works presented that report to the members of the Federal Executive Council, and it was approved by the President. That shows the power of community engagement. And it shows about, when the community sees that their reports are being addressed, it gives the trust in government. And they are not waiting for the next election, because they are already working with the government, and we are building trust gradually with them. And in that process, we're improving services and we're improving governance.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Esiet, for that elaborate explanation. You are building structures And the issue of trust actually is a major challenge, you know, in this part of the, country, especially because, you know, several times government has made promises, maybe, and these promises have not come to fruition. And there is this question mark on trust. Now, Morimi, let me ask you, what are the key principles for building trust now and collaborating between, you know, communities and government, NGOs, and so on?
Thank you so much. I think based on what my colleagues have said, community engagement is the biggest vehicle for development because community engagement understands the nitty-gritty of the grassroots, understanding their behavioral patterns, understanding their bespoke needs, and then addressing it, understanding the languages. And that's why our work is so interesting because we are 6 regional officers from this zone. I'm a core Yoruba girl, and I understand the cultural aspect of the Yoruba society. So I'm able to use that understanding to engage with the communities. I want to use this opportunity to call on all the governors of the Federation to work with us because I think we are the best officers that can accelerate the progress of the country. We are the best officers that can make them understand that this is the biggest need. This is the biggest platform. So let me just break this down. I initiated the Southwest Initiative for Transformation. That's Project SWIFT. Under that, we have the agricultural pillar, we have the education pillar, we have the entrepreneurship pillar, we also have the security pillar. Now, 2 weeks ago, or just a week ago, I visited the Agbeyewa farms, which is the biggest farm in the Southwest region and also in Nigeria. They produce cassava and everything. And we've been able to understand that there has to be security around our land production. Okay. There has to be major, a major in-growth scheme to support the farmers. In community engagement, we try to create that in-grow and outgrower scheme to support these people. So my biggest understanding is we are the biggest people that can create inclusion, transparency, the principles of transparency, inclusion, and the many aspects of government. So I think it's necessary that we keep having the support. And I also call on all corporate agencies to ensure that their CSR services come through us. They are able to see how they can work together with us and see how we can facilitate growth and development. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And back to Chioma Nweze. I know that the Southeast that you cover has very robust town hall structure. They do a lot of town hall meetings, they do a lot of towns union and all of that. How does this help in your engagement strategy?
Thank you very much for your question. The Southeast, we have a lot of, we started from PGs of town unions. Yeah. We have our councillors, our local government structure. We also have August meetings for women. We have a lot of association and unions, and I must say that is very, very encouraging because it helps me to be able to bring people together under an umbrella, and it's usually seamless and very, very, very
because they have to
effective.
Converge on their own.
Yes. Like the last time, like last month, I had a meeting with all the market women from the 5 states in the Southeast. And so they all came with their different uniform. They're already organized. So it helps because you're trying to tell them, okay, this is an organized forum. This is the government we are working with, and this is what the government is giving to us. And if you have any issues, please talk to us about it. Like this new tax law that is going to take effect from January, I was able to tell them these are the things that are required from you as people in the tax net. If you have below this, if your turnover is below so and so amount, you're not required to pay tax. And again, if you have grievances, the most important thing, you're able to report. There's an office that you can report. This is your grievances, whether they are collecting double taxation from you and everything. Our market people that are in the grassroots, they need to understand where the government is going to. We don't just want to be a government that will sign a bill into law and won't be able to disseminate it to our citizens. So it's the Southeast organization helps me to be able to talk to different groups at any time. During the August meeting, I went around. These women, we say when you train a woman, you've trained a nation. Women helped us in talking to our children and our husbands about NEL Fund. We won't have NEL Fund at the federal level, and NEL Fund is catching a lot of ground. They are covering a lot of ground in other states, and in Southeast they are not able, because Southeast people believe that they are afraid of loans, and they need to work to be able to do what they want to do. They feel that anybody that there's no free lunch, anybody giving you something for free, maybe there's a catch. So it took me and the NEL Fund, the MD, to talk to our women, to talk to parents, to tell them that this fund is from the federal government and is to help you to train your children in school. We don't want to see people that are dropouts tomorrow. We don't want to see people that cannot pay their fees tomorrow. And they don't even start deducting money from you until you get a job. So it's not as if they're going to put pressure on the students, because we have student loans abroad and they use it effectively. So if it's working there, we should be able to do it in Nigeria. So we are trying so hard and using all these organizations that are present to drive home the policies of the government. Even our town union presidents, we've called them for a meeting and said, our vote is our voice. Our vote is what we're going to, our mandate is what we're going to hand over to our children. Everybody should register. Everybody should register to vote. Everybody's vote counts. So we want a situation where everybody is enlightened and know that, yes, this works for me and this does not work for me. Before now, Southeast has always been doing government of politics of sentiment. This person is from my place, is contesting, and let me vote for him. But now I'm trying to tell my people, no, this government is working for us. We're not talking about this person is from my place, so let's vote for him. What can this person do for us? Is he going to win? Let us be strategic for the first time. If you're giving me apples and tomorrow you stop giving me the apples, am I going to eat them? Why will I go with somebody that is promising me an apple and is not going to give me an apple? So it's good for Southeast to be in the center and to be strategic about their policies. So I'm trying to tell all our women, all our fathers, all our town union people, this government is working for us for the first time in the Southeast. In fact, my governor was saying that for the past 10 years, he has never seen a federal government project in Southeast. I think my own is for more than 30 years. I've not seen any federal government projects in my state. I come from Ebonyi State. But now, in my state, last year, when the Artisan Bridge fell, is a bridge that connects two very important places in Enugu. The Enugu State Governor called the Minister of Works. This bridge it has fallen. Oh, let's come and see what we're going to do. The next day he arrived, he checked it, and he presented it to the president. The president approved it. That's the first time it's happening. Before, Southeast was relegated to the background and we didn't know anything that was happening in government. That's why we're telling our people that this government is for us. So we should step up and make our votes count. We have a number of projects that are going on in Southeast, unlike before. We have the Enugu-Onitsha road that connects us to Onitsha. Onitsha is the biggest market. In fact, I don't want more me to say Ibadan has the biggest markets. Onitsha has the biggest markets in Nigeria.
Open air markets.
Yes. So it connects us, the Enugu-Onitsha road connects us to the rest of the country. We have the Onitsha-Owerri road that the federal government is building for us, which is ongoing, and connects us to the Imo sides of Imo State, Abia State side of the country. We have Enugu-Port Harcourt road. In fact, when we went there with PDP stakeholder, Mr. Gbenga Showumi, he was saying that he has not seen any continuous road in Nigeria without any pothole. It's the work of this administration. When people want to criticize this administration, you ask them, these roads have been bad since. This administration is trying to put it in place and also trying to do legacy roads so that they will be known for something. Because if we are able to build all our legacy projects and we're able to put towers from Lagos to Calabar and open up the economy of Nigeria, It's for our children. We go to other countries. We go to Toronto. We go to other countries, and we'll see high rising on their coastal roads, and we wonder. So we want to bring other things that we're seeing in other countries to our country. So we are telling Southeast people now is the time to step up and be counted. Don't do politics of sentiment. Don't say my brother. If it's not your brother's turn, tell your brother to wait. When is your turn? They will support
But
you.
is it in turns? Anyway, but I'm trying to see, have you managed to draw attention to the state of the Asaba-Onitsha, the road leading to the Niger Bridge? And why do I say this? It may seem as if it's in Delta, but it is the people going to the southeast, and you know what it means when Christmas approaches like this. This is already October. I don't know if it's something that has caught your attention and if it's something that you are thinking about, the road, because it's going to be a lot of suffering if that isn't attended to.
Is it from Asaba to Onitsha?
Leading to the Niger Bridge.
Leading to the Niger Bridge. Okay. We have Asaba to Onitsha leading to Niger Bridge, and you know during the last administration they did the another bridge,
the second
Niger Bridge, yes, which was completed in this administration. So this administration also flagged off section 2A and 2B of the road leading from Asaba. One is leading from Asaba to the same Niger Bridge. One is leading from the other end of the bridge down. So that is still in construction. They are constructing this one. Then the one from this Asaba to Niger Bridge is under palliative, which I also bring to the knowledge of the Honorable Minister of Works. He has always been proactive when things concerning human sufferings are being brought to his notice. Like last 2 weeks, he was in Edo State because of that Ekpoma Road that has not been done for the past 40 years. So I'll bring this to his knowledge, and I'm sure when I come back, I'll give you a positive feedback.
All right. Thank you very much, Madam Chui. I mean, you've spoken so much, especially about changing the narrative in the southeast, which is commendable. But the challenge that you have, just like you said, is having a buy-in, of the people. Let's come to the North Central now, right, with Dr. Essiet. How do we begin to address that challenge of, getting people to have, a buy-in for government projects, changing their mindsets? What are the various, methods you are using to get people to have a buy-in into it?
Okay, so for people to have a buy-in, you need to also create a platform for them to have a buy-in, and a platform that is committed to listening to them, and also not just a one-way platform where you just go gather their feedback, but a platform where you can also go back to, like my sister said, go back to the community and say, this is exactly based on your observations. So I will cite an example. When the Ministry of Interior started their recruitment, there was one local government in Kogi State that was missed. So the people in those local government reached out to me and said, we can't locate, because if we can't locate your local government, we can't continue with the recruitment process. And within 24 hours, I sent a message to the Permanent Secretary for Interior, and within 24 hours, they activated that local government, and they could apply for that. And I received so many letters of appreciation from even the assembly members in that managing that constituency to say, oh, they appreciated that, because I screenshot my conversation with the permanent secretary and said, this is what is going on. Within 24 hours, your local government will be on board. And they saw that happen. That is trust. And that's how we create by him, because there's a platform already that we have. Like I said, the Citizen Assembly platform is open to people to join. And we have people even older as 60 years old joining the Citizen Assembly platform to say they want to be part of the governance. And we ask them, anytime the federal government is doing, anytime you have an issue, reach out to us. So the platform is there for us to also reach out to them and say the feedback we received from you. I will cite another example in FCT here of an hospital that was locked, that was practicing illegal operations, and people were dying. And these are medical doctors that are not trained, that are quacks. And they reported this incident to us on our platform on a Sunday, thinking that, government doesn't work on a Sunday. And the same Sunday, the Minister of State acted on that report, and the hospital was locked in 4 hours. Shows that, there's a platform. When people report it, so we are creating that platform, and that's the reason why Mr. President is creating the community engagement team, for people to know that I have some team members that are here to listen to you. Not because, the issue of federal government is about community engagement, but all levels of government are meant to do engagement. For instance, now before any local council says they are doing their budget, there's supposed to be needs assessment. The needs assessment process involves each councillor going back to their community and asking their members of their community, what are your priorities? What are your needs? Not basically the manifesto or the propaganda or the manifesto of the councillors, but they go back to their community because they are representing their community. I jokingly tell some of our senators, like, constituency projects should be a councillor's work and not a senator's work, because they are closer to the people. They get feedback on those things, and that's how a budget is being done. So creating that channel, we created the channel and letting them know, Mr. President also have a community engagement office, because in each of your communities, there are federal government interventions that federal government needs to handle. One of them is security. Now we're talking about state policing, which is a good step in the right direction. Humanitarian services. Some of them are medical services. Do you know that there are some hospitals now that you don't have to pay for cesarean section? And dialysis costs 12,000 naira now. Those are the interventions done by federal government that we are communicating to our people on a daily basis. And if they have any issue, they say, there was a federal medical center that was reported to us that every time a pregnant woman gets to the hospital, they ask her to go and do CS. And the CS they're asking her to do is at the hospital of one of the medical doctors who has established a private hospital to transfer people to. So when we got feedbacks like that, we send it to different federal agencies for them to review. And we also report back through our town hall meetings. So I just came back from Kogi. I'm going to Benue soon, before the end of this month, to set up another peace structure, and then we are going to Plateau as well to set up another peace structure. And we'll be doing that for the whole North Central region based on the feedbacks we are getting. And for community engagement, regularly we submit community reports to Mr. President. For our office, I've submitted over 150 community reports. Our report is all structured in a way that when we submit a report, we'll put the details of the person submitting the report, the details of the traditional ruler, the name and the phone number, so that any federal agency that wants to work on those reports already have the people to follow up with. I will make an example. When I went to Boko, one of the senatorial districts in Benue Street, to conduct a roundtable citizens assembly, I said I wanted to use myself. It was a primary school that they said we should use, because we invited stakeholders in the roundtable to share feedbacks for us, and I couldn't get any toilet to use. I said, so we have 2 primary schools located in this Boko. So where do the children urinate or pass? So I asked the children, I want to wee wee, where do you wee wee? They said here. The here means the back of their class, on the floor. Because the toilet that was constituted has been damaged for years and nobody was doing anything. And the Federal Ministry of Water Resources has an agenda to make sure that they end open defecation by this year. So I reported, that incident to the Federal Ministry and said, in line with your mandate on ending open defecation, this is a public institution that needs this, because you see litters everywhere. And, children are already in the class. So when a fly perch on that, it can easily spread, cholera or other communicable diseases. And within 6 months, they gave out the contracts, and now they have a solar-powered borehole and toilet facility for both men, and 6 blocks done by federal government. Things like this is, what people feel, okay, really, this government listens. Because from everything you've seen in governance structure for years, people just want to be heard. People just want to know that.
Getting heard and communicating with the people.
Communicating.
What strategies are you adopting? Is it through the traditional leaders or schools or churches or social media?
Okay, so we use multi-layer interventions approach, because all our people, we have different strategies depending on where you're coming from. For instance, we use the social media for the people who have the access. So we have a WhatsApp group for each state where they can communicate to us. So I have a WhatsApp group for all the traditional leaders in North Central region for them to communicate to me in any issues that's happening. I have another WhatsApp group and also Facebook page, because I realize some of our elderly ones, they like Facebook and they like WhatsApp, and some of them are connected on those platforms. And anytime we are also going, all of us visit our regions on the quarterly basis. So now in the next month, we are all going for town hall meetings and listening tour. When we started our work, we carried out a listening tour across the North Central region. And, you know, when we go, we sit with people, we meet with traditional leaders, we meet religious groups. So, for instance, it depends on the state we are going to. For instance, when I'm going to Plateau State next month, I'm going to set up a peace structure. I'm meeting with the Farmers Association, I'm meeting with the Mieti Hala groups, I'm meeting with the Christian Association, I'm meeting with the Muslim Association, peculiarly based on what I'm going there for. So we engage people, we engage the traditional structures, existing community structure. So we have CDA, Community Development Agency, in some of our states that are already working, that have connections with different traditional institutions, that have connection with the local government institutions. Okay. I also have a platform where I engage all the organs of my region, where they also have a direct platform to engage me. So anytime I'm going to a state, we'll let the governor know that, okay, Your Excellency, I'm coming to your state. I would like to meet you and also tell you who and who I'm engaging. And this is what we are meant to do. And also meet the other political leaders and say, this is where I'm going to, this is what we're doing. And we also extend invitations to them and say, we are doing a town hall meeting, or we are doing a roadshow, or we are doing this program. You can also join. And, you know, we are, as a team, we have a media plan where we go on quarterly basis to federal media platform and state media platform to tell them this is the community engagement platform. This is the contact details of our office. You can actually reach out to us and engage it. And we all have a website where people can also follow up and engage. We've created an Instagram platform as well for people to share story and follow up our stories and narrative so that they can also engage with us. So all of us have hotlines that people can call at regular places to send their report and for us to also give them back reports. And that platform is called Hello Community, where you can reach out and say, okay, my community is having this, and these are the picture evidence of what is going on in the community. And we use that platform to also report back to them and say, this is what we've done on the report you sent to us.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Biodesiet. I'm just wondering, you said all of you visit.
Don't forget to remind our viewers that they can participate in this conversation by sending comments and questions through the WhatsApp and the number displayed on your screen. Please, Victor, go ahead.
All right. Now, she mentioned that you visit on a quarterly basis, 3 monthly. And I'm wondering, Moremi, if this is not a bit too much gap, to be able to articulate the voices of people in your constituency, which is the Southwest, and ensuring that they can get action at the federal level.
Thank you so much. So I actually want to ask for a pardon for my stutter because I'm actually stressed.
Okay.
I've been in the community for well over 4 weeks.
Okay.
We went for Onga and then we came back and then I went straight to the communities in the Southwest. I went to Osun State, Ekiti State, Ondo State, and also to Lagos State as well. Our work is really, really draining. It takes a lot of our physical energy and so much of our resources financially because of logistics and many other things.
Personal resources?
Unfortunately, we're a bit short-funded, but with time things will pick up. I believe so. And the president is seeing so much of our efforts and is doing everything to support us. Many ministers, particularly the Minister of Work, supports our work, and also people within the presidency support our work as well. We visit our communities regularly. As Biodo mentioned, we have multi-layered platforms for communication. It's not something that will create a gap. Many of us have volunteers. I have volunteers and coordinators in all the states. Okay. I also have ward coordinators. I have local coordinators who give us back-to-back communications, who let us know what is going on. So we're not far from our communities. No, we're not. Some of us visit, I'm always in Lagos, which is the easiest place because of the airports on a regular basis. And then from Lagos, I commute to other communities. So it's something we do on a regular basis. And one interesting thing about our engagement is the fact that we are able to, the citizens feel that sense of belonging. There's this affinity they feel like they've been cut off from government. So having come into office, the community engagement officers, we've been able to create that sense of warmth, that sense of attention and listening ears for them, we give them that, they feel the presence of government with us. So that's one of the biggest advantage of community engagement. And also, we're able to understand their needs. We're able to relate appropriately with them. In the course of my engagement, I realized I use the education as the biggest tool. My biggest project that I just finished with the BATSTEM, that's Bola Ahmed Tinubu Scholarship, Training, Education, Mentorship. I decided to tweak my STEM to scholarship, training, education, mentorship, because I believe that in the Southwest region, the education is the biggest legacy. We are known for education. And that is the biggest way to get back students in school. There's so much out of school, there's a huge rate of out of school children. So our plan is to bring them back into the system, and we focus on the senior class, the SS3 students, SS2 and SS1, because very soon they will be of voting age. And we need to start enlightening them on their responsibilities as a citizen. Many of these community children do not understand why they have to vote. They don't understand what they have to do. They don't understand the peculiarities of being a responsible citizen. You know, the right to vote, the right to live, the right to, freedom. These things, we engage with them. And that's a tool for training. That's a tool for advancement. That's a tool for, exposure. These are the things that we bring down. Also, we engage with agriculture and many other things. I'm more of a doer than a talker. Do you understand? When you see us in the communities, we tie our wrappers. We also dress in the adire like them. To identify with the communities. So I want you to be rest assured, and also to the viewers, that we are the biggest voice. We have the biggest ears, and we have a fantastic, huge network of people who work with us in the office. As she said, our own team strength is about 700. My own is even more. I've even lost count, because we have people who just communicate. Our WhatsApp messages, our WhatsApp platform is filled with messages. So all I'm just saying is that we need more support. More support. Because
what kind
our
of
work,
support are you talking about now?
our work is quite huge. Our support comes from a system support as well. When I go to these communities, sometimes we are short of vehicles. Sometimes we are short of, logistics to, accommodation. We have to pay extra. Everybody wants to be part of us. Our coordinators want to work with us. In fact, I have to hire vehicles. Sometimes we need buses to convey people. And the things we do is to let them know. Many of them are not even, some people in some communities are not aware of the NEL Fund. Interestingly as well, the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road has been one of the biggest hallmarks in the Southwest. I think that's like the biggest economic road hub of the Southwest region. And it's such a fascinating project. It's highly fascinating. It's something that, when we conveyed ourselves from the Hamadu Bello Junction, it was as if we were in Miami. I've never seen that kind of structure. And then the minister was telling us that there's a height that is about, the roads are well structured, that you are not even scared. Because when I was younger, we were always scared that the beach, the Alpha Bay, was going to be overflowed. But there's been so much apparatus in place to ensure that to ensure that the roads are that will last, are durable. So that is something that interests the communities. At the beginning, they were a bit worried. They were all fighting. We'll have to go for town hall meetings. The Minister of Works will tell me, go speak to the leaders and everything. But right now, they're extremely excited about it. People who live at Ajah, Abramadeson, are able to pass that road now within just 10 minutes. So these are the things that government is doing. Okay. Look at Ogun State. Ogun State is the biggest industrial hub of the Southwest. We have so many industries. We engage with these industries. We engage with the workers. They let us know, government do this one. That some of these people are not even paying the 75,000 naira minimum wage. So these are the things that we take back. As I said, community engagement is the bridge.
Okay. Now, but beyond, let me get to Choma. Beyond being informed, how do you get the people involved, especially when it comes to projects design and monitoring? Now you are informing them what government is doing, what government wants to do. How do you get them involved now, escalating?
Thank you for the question. Right now, we have our citizens' assembly where we get people's feedback. And apart from that, we now have in each state, when the state government wants to do budgets, they have they call a meeting for citizens' budget. So our members are able to sensitize people to go for the program and to tell the government that this is our own area of priority. This is, the government tells you this is our own area of priority. I want to spend this percentage on education. I want to spend this on infrastructure like this. And the people also say this is our own area of priority. We want water. We want light. These are the basic things that you should provide during a democracy. So the Citizens Assembly is able to give the communities a voice and a platform to say these are our priorities. These are the things that we want as citizens. And the government is also able to hear them and also able to implement. Okay, our budgets, we can tweak it. We can allow so much percentage for this, for that, for that. We can, let's put all both. Like in my state, we got our governor to say, okay, we're going to provide water in all the communities in the state. So it comes from giving feedback to the state, because one person cannot do it all. One person does not know it all. Even as a governor of a state or as a local government chairman or anything, you need feedback from people. Feedback is very important. We need to tell people this is where you're getting it right, this is where you're not getting it right. And these are the things that our people want. Please incorporate this into your budget. Also on the federal level, we're able to talk to our ministries and our ministers and say these are the needs of our people. Incorporate these things. And we have had a very good response and very good working relationship with our ministers. So they are able to respond to us within 24 hours. These are the things our people need. Please incorporate it or look into it. The ministry will respond. Okay. Even doing, if there is any acts, maybe let me say an act of God or anything, NEMA is also able to respond. Okay. Our ministries are able to respond when we get their attention to things that are happening in our communities.
All right. Earlier on, you talked about some of the challenges and that you face, while engaging with, the community, especially when it comes to misinformation and resistances in community engagement. How do you measure, before I come to Dr. Esiet now, how do you measure the success of community engagement initiatives so far that you have embarked on?
Through feedback mechanism. I measure my successes from the feedback I get. When I started my Scale Up Southeast and started telling my people that our people are known for working. Our people are not even known for government jobs. Working, trading, farming, and putting food on the table. That's the pride of an Igbo man, for you to be able to provide for your family. You're not carrying laptop and doing yahoo yahoo. No, that is not our custom. And not trying to see how you get rich. You can imagine somebody entering into a bank and saying, put all the money inside, put all the money, trying to say that he is invisible. The rest of the people are visible to him. I was wondering, when did our society get bad as this? When did we get here? So feedback mechanism helps us to know this is what we are doing. This is what is happening. And this is what we need to do to curb what is happening. When I engaged the governor of Anambra State, he said, Choma, there can never be a crown without a thorn. You don't just come and get money without working for it. It's not sustainable. It doesn't work in any society. So we need to re-educate our people. We are telling our people you need to work. In fact, the last time I even engaged the governor of Imo State, he also said he's trying to remove all this insecurity in his place. He's attacking them head on. So we are trying to get back Southeast. We are trying to tell our people this is the time for us to stand up and be counted. We are trying to tell, how can a region be subjected to no work on Monday, no going to school on Monday, nothing on Monday, and everybody in the region accepts it? It's crazy.
So what's the situation now?
What's the situation now? Most states are taking back their states now.
Okay.
In Ebonyi State, there's nothing like sit at home on Monday. We go to work, we go to school, we go to... In Enugu State, in fact, the governor had to go, when he resumed office, every Monday he had to go round. If you're a market person and you don't open on Monday, he will arrest you. Because you need to open, because you have said that this is your store and they should identify you with this store. So you open every day of the week apart from Sunday, which is what our people keep holy and go to churches on Sunday. Imo State is doing the same thing. He's also fighting his own head on. Anambra State is also doing the same thing. He realized that his problem are from traditional medicine doctors and people that are deceiving the society. He's also doing the same thing. Abia State is doing wonderfully well. He's, in fact, the last time we went to Abia State for the commissioning, when the president came to commission projects in Abia State, and that he sent the Minister of Works to represent him, I was in his entourage. The Port Harcourt Road has not been built for over 45 years. It was built by the former, by the last, the last government of, let me say, 45 years ago. Didn't a child drowned on Port Harcourt Road? The gully in Port Harcourt Road is so much that from one end of the road, you cannot go to the other end of the road. He built it within the first 2 years of his administration. Ohanku Road, the same thing. Ohanku Road, the debt in Ohanku Road is like 4-story high. You know, you park, you know, Aba now, Aba known for trading, Aba known for being dirty. They will park debts on the street. Now, when I went there, I could hardly see anything on the floor.
Okay.
Governor Oti told them that anybody that puts anything on the floor, you, a citizen, can arrest the person, and the person will pay 50,000 naira to you. So everybody can arrest when you're dirty anywhere. So you see Aba very clean. So the governors of Southeast are actually stepping up and saying, no, we don't want this. So that's why we are trying to educate our people, and we're trying to tell them, tell us. There is nothing that is too heavy for you to tell us.
So, okay, which means that you are getting effective feedback.
Yes, I am.
Okay, all right, thank you. We already have some messages before, maybe you will respond to that before I asked the question I want to ask. Some of our viewers have sent messages and questions. This one says, please tell the guests to look into mobilizing local media outlets, in each state as channels to engage available non-governmental groups in each state. That is, it's asking whether you engage local media outlets in the states. Good morning, Nigeria. This from Otoba C from Ogun State. So I really appreciate Mr. President for this initiative. Please, I want to ask, where is the South-South engager? Why is the South-South engager not here? Well, we'll have him another time. Or her. Okay.
We had her the last time.
Oh, we have her the last time. Okay,
last
fine.
time.
So, all right. So this one says, this from Agubo Onuora Nelson from Ikwo in Ebonyi State. So my question goes to Honorable Mrs. Choma Nweze. Ma, the road to lead from Obubara Junction to Oferi Beach, I may not be pronouncing it, in Ikwo, was awarded, and the bridge that connects Ikwo and Cross River State was also awarded. But as I'm talking to you now, for over 7 months, there is no work going on in that area. The contractors have left the site. I'm saying this because that is my community, and I know that road very well. What do you have to say about the Enugu-Onitsha Express Road? Because there is no work going on in that road.
Thank you. Can I respond to that?
Okay, you can respond before.
Yes. Enugu-Onitsha Road, I was there last week, and work is going on that road. Enugu-Onitsha Road was, first of all, given to MTN to do both the carriageways. But MTN subcontracted it to 2 contractors, RCC and NigerCat. And they were very slow on the job. I don't know, most federal contractors, they like being slow on the job so they can ask for variation and do a lot of things. So when the minister came, he terminated the job of and gave MTN 1 carriageway. Let them finish it. Since they've been on the carriageway for so long and they've not finished it, okay, finish this. And told Mr. President, presented the second one to Mr. President, which he approved, and it has been awarded to SKECC. It will be flagged off next week, Tuesday, in Enugu, and work has even started going on. Even from the Channel Zero, where work started going on, you will see a bridge that they are constructing, and a flyover bridge in Ababa. Ababa is an area where there is, what they call it, police, Army 82 Division. There's Army School, barracks, and everything. So the place is always very choked up. So there's also a flyover that is the flyover construction ongoing at that particular point to ease the traffic. Then the roads in Ebonyi State, the one of Erekwe and the other one in Ikwo, yes, it has been awarded. Yes, work has started going, and it's possible that work has stopped. I will look into it. But I also want to let him know that the budgeting system in Nigeria does not allow for effective jobs to be done. Because you find out that if a bridge is supposed to cost 7 billion, in the budgets they might put 500 million. So the contractor just does as that
Okay.
what is in the budget and
Okay.
does not do the rest.
Okay.
But I'll look
Madam
into
Choma,
this thing.
because
yes.
of time.
Yes.
I should run through the messages that I have here.
Dr. Esed can respond.
Pastor Okwu is talking about why the South-South rep is not here. Well, I think that's been responded to. She's unavoidably absent. My name is Umo on North York. I've been taking time to listen to our mothers on the community engagement discussions ongoing. The job they are doing is very tough, but nobody knows if they didn't say it. Let us support them and pray God Almighty to protect and help them. Okay. And good morning, Nigeria. I appreciate the president for bringing up this impactful initiative because the feedback you will get from the grassroots goes a long way in policy formulation and solving a lot of problems. My question goes to the Honorable Doctor representing the North Central. I want to advise now that the youth constituency shouldn't be neglected in community engagement. He said we have community youth presidents in all the villages across various local governments with special reference to Yagba West LGA. Well, these are just a few. It's a long message. We just had to abridge.
Shorten it.
Perhaps it's something you want to respond to. They don't think you are carrying the youths along enough. Perhaps the youth presidency says?
Thank you very much. So we received that a lot, but in governance process, we have job descriptions. Though we are community engagement, but we also have SSAs managing youth engagement. Okay. So, but I get more invitations from the student and the youth group a whole lot. Okay. But I try as much as possible to also address them. But I don't want to be. We don't want to be seen like we are engagement. It's a big one. But when we have other SSAs that are meant to do the youth engagement or student engagement, so you don't want to be seen. So we work collaboratively with our colleagues, so that they know that okay, there's a need for you to be here, and you have to be here. So and if we need to all be there to engage them, we do that as well. So it's not as if we are sidelining them. And the last program I did in Kogi State, the chairman of that local government was actually the one that spoke on behalf, and the youth were also mobilized for the event. So anytime we're having events.
All right, thank you so much. Because of time, we have another discussion coming up. So we'll have to pause you there. Thank you so much, Dr. Abiodun Esed, Senior Special Assistant, Community Development, North Central. Thank you for coming for today's discussion. Also, want to thank Madam Chioma Nweze, Senior Special Assistant, Community Engagement Southeast. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Morimi Ojodu, Senior Special Assistant to the President, Community Engagement Southwest. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having us. We hope to come more.
Okay, we look forward to having you again.
Thank you.
Well, we'll take a break now. When we come back, our second discussion will kickstart. Stay with us.
The counsel of our fathers.
My advice to these young people is please do not take us back to those harrowing days. You probably do not know what it is.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation together.
Are you ready? Join us on Reshaping Democracy, a groundbreaking program on the network service of the NTA, where citizens get the chance to ask ministers, heads of ministerial departments, agencies, and other top government officials questions on their performance and delivery of mandates. With no sector of limits, conversations build around bridging communication gaps for feedback and effect as our guests engage with the people they serve.
How does ND foster partnerships with organizations, government agencies, NGOs, among others?
As our leaders give account to citizens' inquiries on good governance, tune in to Reshaping Democracy, a creative concept coming up every Tuesday evening at 10:05 p.m.
This is Reshaping Democracy.
You know the geography of Nigeria, but we're not a nation. A nation is a group of people with a shared vision. In many states of the Federation, with a few exceptions, we have only 2 tiers of government. The local government is completely gone.
Insightful, thought-provoking, and engaging.
Those countries that we go to buy refined petroleum products, or technically what we call distillates, Are we saying their economic and political leaders are fools?
What you see that is happening in the urban area is not happening in the rural area. There's no balance.
All right, thank you very much. This is still Good Morning Nigeria on the network service of the NTA. We have another conversation we're about to begin, which is on medical outreach and empowerment, which is championed by a professor of engineering who has been lately engineering humanitarian causes. I'm introducing Professor Nentawe Yiwada, who is the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, the APC. A pleasure to welcome you to Good Morning Nigeria.
Thank you so very much.
And
Good
we
morning,
also
Nigeria.
commiserate with you on the passing of your mom and congratulate you on emerging APC national chairman.
Thank you so much.
All right. So, Prof, it's good to have you join us. So, what inspired you to facilitate a 2-week medical outreach?
It's not just 2 weeks. I think it's the first phase of screening was 1 week.
Okay.
And then the intensive medical outreach service is 2 weeks, making 3 weeks. But, you know, what inspired me is very simple. I've been the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, and I've toured the whole country, the entire country. I've visited communities. I've gone from the most extremely poor to the extremely rich communities in Nigeria. I've been to where Boko Haram has attacked and depleted communities, like in the Chad Basin, the Gomburu Gala. I've dropped using helicopter those communities that you cannot even go by road because of the insurgency. I've dropped in those communities in person. I've been to Sokoto. I've been to Lagos. I've been to Akwa Ibom. I've been to most communities in Nigeria. Border communities that have to do with the border between Nigeria and Cameroon, the crisis with those communities, the migration, cross-border migration within those communities. I've been to all those communities. And I've seen the complete near collapse in most of the primary health care access in most of in a lot of the states and a lot of the communities. And primary health care is the principal contact between the average and the poorest man in Nigeria and the health services. And that's why the federal government, through the Renew Hope agenda, is revitalizing primary health care centers. Already for now, we've done about 5,000 primary health care centers across the country. That's from the federal government, providing support for states to ensure that the Renew Hope agenda reaches the poorest of the poor. But you know, primary health care falls on the local government. And it's part of the reason why the president also is on the view that there's need for the local governments to be independent so they can support those lowest ebb of the people. And so these are part of the inspiration that I have, that I need to complement what government is doing and be...
Not that you're going solo.
No.
Okay.
I'm complementing what the government is already doing.
Okay. All right.
I'm supporting what the president is doing. I'm a party chairman, and as a party chairman, my job is to complement what the president is doing, and to support what my party is doing, to promote what my party is doing in any way I can do it. So I now started this healthcare service. I recruited doctors, nurses, lab technicians, pharmacists, radiologists. So we got over 100 of them who were volunteers. So we now give them only allowances per day. We now ask them to do a need assessment around the communities and see most of the commonest diseases that's affecting the people around the communities. And so that we can bring experts, which they did. We got the report of the need assessment. After the need assessment that was done, I now look out for friends who live overseas. And I have a friend who lives in US, who have this Sharing Hope International. They also do health support. And ask them, kindly scout for medical doctor expertise in this area, that people lack support in Nigeria. Some have to travel overseas to get those support. If you can get them for me, I was able to get 31 medical personnel in all these areas from brain surgeons to plastic surgery to different area of expertise that is gynecologists, specialists, different specialties, people that specialize in knee replacement, hip replacement, different type of orthopedic doctors with the expertise. So they now came into Nigeria last week, but we have to do the pre-screening first, which we did across the state, and we deployed these doctors that were home-based into all the communities. They have vested people that have special areas that they cannot treat at the general hospital level. And at that level, we were able to do, we did over 400 and something surgeries in that first 1 week of screening. Then we now had other treatment that we did with our surgeries, and we were able to attend about 14,000 patients within that period. Wow. And we're targeting 40,000 people to be asked to assess medical care within this this period of 3 weeks.
That's huge.
Of activities we're doing. Now, who are those people who are participating? We have patients across the country, surprisingly.
Not only from Jos?
Yes. The last time I was there, I saw people from Edo.
Oh, okay.
I saw people from, even one person who came from Enugu, people who came from Taraba, from Bauchi, from Gombe, from Kaduna, from FCT here, people who went there to assess medical care, and people from Plateau, Nasarawa, even Benue, neighboring communities, neighboring states. So it's not just like a Plateau activity because we give it a social media presence and a media presence also.
So, but how do you try to ensure that, because you're bringing people from abroad,
yes,
how do you plan to see that there is knowledge transfer to the local people so that...
And in short, that's what we did also. We asked the teaching hospital, because we are dropping them in Jute. Now, they're not just even coming with only knowledge. They're coming also with equipment. Because I asked them to harvest equipment for us, and I also contributed funding to import those equipment into Nigeria and provide those support for bringing those equipment into the country. So we have huge number of equipment that have come in. Now we've agreed with them that those equipment will be shared between 3 major hospitals. One is the Suna Hospital in Jos North. Okay. It's owned by the Muslim community, the Suna, the Muslim community in Jos North. Then the Vom Christian Hospital in Vom, in Jos South local government. And then also by the Jos University Teaching Hospital also. So the 3 hospitals will share the equipment after the medical outreach. Okay. Now, these 2 hospitals will provide support for the rural people, for the poorest of the poor, the Vom Christian Hospital and also the Suna Hospital. They will support the poor people, and equipment that are meant for general hospital will be given to them. Then high-tech equipment that will support the teaching hospital will be left in the teaching hospital. Okay. This is aimed to ensure that the support is not just based at the rural level also, but at the highest level. Okay. So it's cascaded from the highest to the lowest. And these are based on need assessment that, like I said, we did and we conducted. That we're to tend to get those gaps filled. Now, this is just like an example that it's a case study we're doing, that to prove to Nigerians that individuals can actually support healthcare, and that you can use your goodwill. For example, my office has a goodwill. You know, the office is a brand itself. If you say National Party office, it's a brand itself. And all I did was to ask friends and well-wishers to raise some funding for me, so that I can get those services provided. And a lot of people...
No doubt, sir.
Yes.
It's a laudable project that you have embarked on. But the problem now is, do you intend to continue with it? Let's look at the sustainability of this project.
I'm not just doing...
How do you intend to sustain it?
You know, the sustainability we're putting across here is that, you know, there are 3 things that I'm achieving here. The equipment that I've been brought is one thing I've been able to achieve. 2, the training they're providing, because they're providing training for nurses, doctors, and different category of health care providers. They provided training for them. And, you know, I recall when there was this part component within really add to the health this thing. That's the pediatricians. We didn't really add that as a component.
Okay.
But 2 doctors came from US who were pediatricians on the team.
Okay.
And they said, why not add this? And we didn't make budget for it. So we have to call friends and raise funding for that and add that as a component of the project also. And we also, they told me that, yes, in the profiling that I didn't add that as the most essential need. But that they know also that in Africa, child mortality is a critical factor in third world countries. So they decided to add it to the list of the sectors that we need to address. So these are so I can put it across in simple terms. You know, we've achieved capacity building for health workers, you know, not just on the plateau alone, but neighboring states. 2, we've achieved equipment support.
How do you measure your achievements?
Measuring is simply means that the people who attend the training and they were able to participate in the health outreach, because it's not just providing training, but transferring that skill that you can now participate in the health activities, and you're able to also provide other surgeries in those critical sectors along with them, because these are practical sessions that are undergoing. Not just training alone, because they've done the training for them for 2 days, intensive training for 2 days, and they're working with them in practice. Over the weekend, they'll do another set of training again. Then next week, they'll continue with another set of this thing. I recall the first day that we had. In only one day, one doctor was able to do about 31 eye surgeries. Yes, one person was able to do about 31 eye surgeries. So you can imagine the number of doctors that are involved, how much surgeries they can do. And we have about 3 different centers with multiple number of doctors involved, just on the eye sector. We have people who are doing hip replacement. And then, you know, they brought all the components that they use for the hip replacement. And just imagine how many people are benefiting from it. Before they even started, already we have, because the pre-medical outreach was to make referrals. We had over 170-something referrals on hip replacement alone. And apart from, knee cap replacements also. Yeah, so we have such kind of numbers of people. You can see from the from this, you see this eye surgery. You can see people who are being referred from different hospitals, different places, and they are assessing. So my first way I'm assessing is that how many people benefited from the activities. I told you that in the first 1 week, that this we did over 400 and something surgeries. We attended to over 14,000 people. Now we are spreading more from the pre-medical outreach within these 2 weeks also, and having referrals. How many referrals do we have?
Okay.
Yes, we have over 600 referrals that are going to be treated in the special, and we're having more referrals within these 2 weeks. Every day we're having more referrals coming up from the general hospitals into the
How do you cope with the huge number of people that are coming?
We have huge number of doctors who are participating also.
Okay.
That's just we are harvesting doctors from different places. We even have some doctors who come from Owerri, some from Abuja here, some from Zaria. So we harvested them and we're paying them for it.
Oh, okay.
So I pay them their daily income. And so we estimate how much you would have made in your hospital if you are to work. So, and then we have this, we just treat you based on your own specialty. So we have different level of specialty, different level of experience, and then when I bring them together, we harvested them. So I'm working with the Nigerian Medical Association. Oh, okay. So they actually are providing, in short, the chairman of the Nigerian Medical Association of Abuja is part of a team in just working.
great.
The one, I think, is this area or either Kaduna or Bauchi is part of the team working there. The one for Plateau is part of the team.
So they have a contingent working
yes,
with
so they know all their members across the different specializations that they can harvest across the country and bring them together. The ophthalmologists, one of the specialists came from Lagos. So we're not just harvesting people from only Plateau to do this work, but across the country. The best hands that we can get to provide this service.
Because you are national chairman of the APC, I'm just thinking your critics will say this is political posturing. But how do you intend, or how will you prove that this transcends politics? Are you going to escalate beyond Plateau to other parts of the country?
Let me just put it to you in simple terms. Anybody who has known me, even before I joined politics, I've been a humanitarian. When I built my community secondary school in my village, as far back as about 20 years ago, I was not into politics. When I trained young people, I was training people, providing paying JAM, paying WIAC and all this. I was just a consultant in the university. I was doing my hard-earned salary and hard-earned consulting funding. I was paying this thing for a lot of people for over 20 years. I was into politics. When I was providing health care for my communities, I was into politics. And everybody who has known me, I've been into humanitarian. But you should ask me, why did I go into humanitarian services? That's the question that you should ask me right from the beginning.
Okay.
I was one of the poorest students in my class in primary school. I didn't pass any common entrance examination in my primary 6. I have to repeat primary 6 because I was academically very poor. I just ended up with one, joining one community, secondary school in my village. One of the least you can think of.
It's an encouraging story because
now,
now you are.
Yes, but my father was a missionary.
Okay.
So the church now gave me an opening as a Sunday missionary to be transferred to the church secondary school. And I met a missionary lady, Miss Brenton. She's from UK. She took her time to train me and teach me mathematics. She was a mathematics teacher.
Wow.
And she teach me and spend all her time and resources and money and everything on me. In my Form 3 for the first time, I was able to score 43% in mathematics.
Wow.
This woman didn't give up on me. She would give me a cup of tea and biscuit and spend all her time on me. My Form 4, I became good. My final year, I became one of the best students. I entered the university, I graduated one of the best students. I was retired in the university.
Wow.
I became a consultant, in engineering. I started making some money. I traveled to go and meet her in UK. But I discovered that I lost her to cancer. So I never met her.
Yeah.
So I returned back and made up my mind that
I'm
going to also
replicate in
to people
society.
that I don't know.
All right, Prof. I mean, Victor has introduced politics now. And
Yes.
Let's talk about politics.
Yes.
Now, with the social economic situation in the country now, how are you sure that your party will retain power in 2027?
When you talk about, I don't want to talk about about other political parties, but let me talk about my party.
Now.
Yes, my party, because of the huge things we're doing, the changes we're making. Assuming you're a governor, because assuming you're a governor, in 2023, 24 out of 36 states were owing salaries. They can't pay salaries. Even the remaining 12 that could pay salaries, they borrow to pay.
Struggling.
So they struggle to pay. For you to want to take any project, you must borrow to want to take a project. So there was this huge burden on the states. Some states were collecting as low as 2 billion naira per month. Today, moving from roughly about 400 billion being shared every month to 2.2 trillion naira being shared every month. If you're a governor, what will you do? Moving from 400 billion to about 2.2 trillion in a month. And we're assuring Nigerians that this number will not drop. Revenue will keep on increasing with the tax reform we're bringing in. We're hopeful that we can do more than twice that number. If you're a Nigerian, where would the question be? The revenues are huge. No state is owing salary again. most states don't borrow again to undertake projects, unless you want to do mega projects.
Are you saying now that
think
there
of. That's number one.
You have enough funds now to implement most of these
projects? Of course. But that's what you're seeing also. Mark you, we promise, in this same health sector we're talking about, we promise 6 cancer centers. We've implemented 3. We're left with 3. We're midterm. We've done half of what we promised we would do. We're left with 3. And with the income and inflow coming in, we're sure we can deal with the remaining 3. The intelligence community said that our economy will grow by just 3%. We threw up 4.23%, growing by more than 1.23%. Above, they said that we might reach, but we exceeded everybody's limit in terms of economic growth. The influx of investment into Nigeria in different sectors, is it this same health sector? You know of what's happening, the investment coming in, and the federal government also investment to ensure that even the cost of medication drops. If you're buying antibiotics some 2 years ago, if you go to the same supermarket to buy it, the cost has dropped by almost 40%. And you should ask what happened. Removal of tax on health services, importation of healthcare equipment, and then also what we've done in the pharmaceutical sector. So, even the same thing also we've done with the education. Having the child of the least person in society have access to education to the highest level without going to ask any of his relation or brother. So the social service we're providing, even look at what we've done in humanitarians. In 8 years, the intervention was assessed by only about 2 million people. In 1 year, we did over 6 million people. And we're doing more. We're promising 50 million people before the end of the year. Currently, we've done almost over 7 million. So these are the kind of penetration we're doing. And if the same thing we've done, and these services are going to the rural, mostly rural people, the conditional cash transfer. And we can go on and discuss the agriculture, the food security. Look at how the food prices are crashing. And this is the question you should ask. But that should not even be the focus. The focus now is that we've done many elections. On TV, critics will say that APC cannot win any election. But we did by-election. We won all the by-elections. We're the only party that was able to win in all the 6 geographical zones. Any other party won in only 1 geographical zone. So we localize the opposition to only either 1 or 2 locations. Now, we've done governorship by-elections, and we've seen the results.
Would you say it's a result of the performance of the government, or is it because the government is in power that you're winning so much the victory? No. It's because of what we're doing. We've seen government in power before. And we've seen governors, we've seen senators. Why is it that there's a coalition and nobody is coming to that coalition? No governor, even from opposition. I can even tell you for free, you have a coalition that people are coming in as opposition, as a main opposition. But even their children and family don't even believe in what they're doing. None of the children of those two in the coalition has joined the coalition. They're all in other APC, most of them are APC. Still as senators, House of Reps, members of House of Assembly in our party.
Well, some will argue that it's not time yet.
Which time? What's the time?
By the time will come, maybe a year to election. What's
the time? Let me just give you a clear proposition. The difference between APC coalition and any other coalition that has taken place or is taking place now is one man. There was this President Tinubu, then His Excellency Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He wasn't the president. He wasn't looking for anything. He wasn't contesting for anything. But he was a rallying point of the APC. Everybody called him the leader of the party. All people who are contesting called him the leader. Because he provided the resources. He provided the network. He provided the connectivity. He brought the North and the South together. Who is that person in that coalition that can provide that selfless service in that party to come together?
Well, you've talked a lot about funds generation and all that. And I've heard the opponents of the APC say, look, that agencies are underperforming and it is because they are not funded.
Which are the agencies now?
Well, they said across board.
But the same agencies are now throwing the numbers. If the economy is improving, who is improving the economy? It's not the agencies. If we say that we have 6 cancer centers, we've done 3, it's not the agencies.
All right.
If we said that food has dropped, it's not the agencies.
Okay, Prof.
If we said education is working, it's not the agencies.
Because of time. I mean, one of our viewers, some of our viewers have sent some questions here.
Yes.
I just want to say, good morning, sir. Please help me.
Yes.
I have been struggling with kidney failure. Finding money to do dialysis has not been easy. And money to get a kidney transplant. Please, can I do a video call? Please help me, sir. It's Victor Udama Agu from Enugu State.
Unfortunately, the screening for the support we're given now, we've ended those high-level screening. Maybe if we do another one day, it's possible. But, mark you also, the federal government has intervened in in dialysis. So we've crashed the cost of dialysis. And we've provided centers and places. These are the things I'm talking about. Snake bite is free. Tuberculosis is free. Several free services we're providing in the health sector. And we've crashed the cost of dialysis. And we've provided hospitals that can provide that service for people. So you can just check the website of the Ministry of Health. You will see all the hospitals that can provide dialysis at the cheapest possible cost.
Okay, Prof, before we interject, can you someone wants you to comment on the appointment of this new INEC chairman? Because he's from Kogi, but it's also from Jos, He went to University of Jos.
Yes.
He's the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Jos.
And he's Yoruba.
so
now, maybe don't link him to me because he's
I'm not linking him. I'm just trying to...
I spent all my life in Benue.
Okay.
I went to University of Agriculture, Makurdi. I was trained there as a worker. I became a professor there. I became an INEC commissioner there. My wife is still there as a lecturer. So my family and everything are still in Makurdi. I'm more Makurdi than Plateau. Just like he's more Jos than Kogi.
Yeah.
I get it now. Now, so that's the most important component. But watch out and see the reaction of people. The president is so strategic in his appointments. When I was met the INEC chairman, the APC national chairman, you could hardly see any divergent voice. The entire party was united behind me. Everybody was quiet. The whole press were also quiet because they could see the credibility in my selection. The same thing we've done with this INEC chairman. The president has picked somebody who has come in with a lot of credibility, no baggage. Nobody can find...
Chairman, we know you're a professor, you can go on and on and on, but we've run out of time completely, so we have to thank you at this point.
Thank you.
Professor Nentawe, you were the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress. We thank you very much for your time, and we wish you all the best in your new office.
Thank you so much.
And that's Good Morning Nigeria. We thank you so very much for watching. I'm Victor Azu. We'll see you again on Monday.
And I'm Ademola Adeoye. Do have a lovely weekend.